Very, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic Friday. Yes, that's right. And joining you tonight is going to be Babael. With me is Lark, and we are here to bring you another round of Cycle 4. Round 2, well into it. It's going to be KaiD versus aMQ.
Yeah, man. We were supposed to originally cover MP versus Impest, but I think there seems to be a couple of problems over there. But nevertheless, we do have a good matchup here. I mean, MQ, we know that this team almost made it towards cycle number 3 playoffs, if I'm mistaken. They did pull through. I mean, they tried to pull through, but just couldn't make it, and it's just really unfortunate. Just bringing up a couple of stats from yesterday's round one. It seems like the usual teams like Orange, MLR, S2Y, Impunity Earth. A lot of these teams have been, just constantly winning, haven't taken a loss just yet. Some of the surprising ones were Turtle Masters drawing to RDCF and Anti Moon Queen. I think they drew with a new team called HEN. Or I'm not sure how the hell you're supposed to say this name, but yeah, it's very interesting to see that. So I'm not sure how they'll fare against KID, but hopefully it'll be a good one.
HoNTourSEA Teaching Lek. I think that's the full name there. Sounds
Well,
Chinese though, don't get me wrong, but
yeah, it is.
anyway, yeah, game one here, well on the way. Gonna be between KID and aMQ, and this is gonna be the life cycle, so both of them want to win this very desperately. That being said, the first ban phase nicely completed there. We do have the Lodestone Tempest Fate Keeper already being banned away, so that means that there is no big wombo combo of that sort, and it's pretty clear that on Team Legion's lineup so far, there's the Sandreef, Bubbles, and Kraken, whereas for Hellborn, there's the Pesty, Amoy, and Scout.
Yeah, Hellborn's lineup is just your conventional Pestilence lane with Master of Arms. You always see this a lot, whether it be Engineer or the Master of Arms. You always see the dual lane mid with the Pestilence, who quickly snowballs in the early game and then gets the ability to get the portal key on top of Steam Boots in a bottle and just starts roaming all across the map, and that's just pure aggression. They have the Scout on top of that, so that's another good pick because that will kind of lock down the auto attacks from Sandreef. Like when there's a clash happening, Scout actually targets the Sandreef. He's gonna hit you and you're gonna be like ultimately just staring at people for like 2 seconds, and then suddenly he's gonna it's like that's like a second in between where before you actually get disarmed yet again, depending on the auto attacks coming up from Scout. So it's a really funny thing to see actually. Sandreef will have a really hard time in trying to get auto attacks out, I feel, in this game. But they do have Bubbles Kraken, so there is some decent synergy and team fight over there. Of course, whenever there's a team fight going down, Sandreef has the ability to just port in, set up for the gank. So hopefully Legion team can set up some aggression as well because Hellborn's lineup is starting to look really good for them.
Yeah, it is, and with the Pestilence pickup on aMQ, it seems like they have also decided to go ahead with this new fashion, and I don't know if it's going to be a fad or fashion, but they are going to pick up the Pestilence for the mid lane there, and I do believe that that should be pretty much on Onage Juice, also known as Wang Wang Savanas for all of you who know him throughout the earlier times of this entire season. So that's it. It's pretty interesting to see that, and in the second betting phase, all those heroes that are addressed are pretty much on point. There's the Hack, the Engineer, the Waltzer, Luna, Ophelia, and Torture, so poor Moe will lose his soulmate again. But that being said, yeah, just love to do that. That being said, there's also no Ophelia in this game. I don't think Ophelia is going to be picked up on Team Hellborn because they don't have what I don't think that they are going to run a jungler based on the fact that they've got Scout there. Scout's definitely going to need a lot more support in the early stages of this game if he's going down to the suicide lane. But don't get me wrong, he can also be playing in the short lane where he is definitely having a lot of fantastic time farming, having the lane advantage there. So that being said, though. It's pretty interesting that the Hack is being banned on this game, so there is no big AoE coming from Bad Blast. I thought that would definitely help Team Legion synergy there. They could have picked up the Hack instead of the Plague Rider, but they are going to deny that from aMQ and will not pick it up themselves. Choosing to go for the Plague Rider, it's pretty old school if you ask me, but should be able to work just fine. And I just like this new momentum pickup there.
Yeah, and like Plague Rider will be able to deal a lot of damage if placed nicely with a Kraken ultimate. Because if Kraken gets 2 to 3 heroes into that huge Kraken, the Kraken ultimate, a Plague Rider on top of that would be a lot of damage. But that's of course hoping that he's able to pull off a huge ultimate. And we were just gonna have to see. And this Myrmidon pickup is a little bit iffy in my opinion. Like there's a reason we don't see Myrmidon supports, and that's because his stuns are more of like skill shots which can be easily avoided. And the thing is, he actually needs levels to actually be much more effective, and he doesn't have the highest of range attack range. He only has 450, so that's pretty low in terms of like trying to deal some harass towards towards the enemy team. So that's the reason we don't really see him picked up as often. And plus, his armor is just abysmal at the start of the game.
Yeah, and that's interesting to see that. So they are going to follow up it nicely with a Witch Slayer from Team Legion. Witch Slayer definitely is going to help them a lot. Do note that the Plague Rider should be able to go play full support for this game, and Witch Slayer should be a secondary support. We have the Bubbles going to the Suicide, Kraken should be the mid. It could be the other way around also, with Kraken at the long lane and Bubbles in the mid. Sandrift definitely is going to be your hard carry from Team Legion. So KID's lineup pretty much standard, nothing too iffy about it just yet. Plague Rider as a support should be able to do something there, but the problem with Plague Rider playing as a hardcore support is the fact that he doesn't have a stun. And I like the Luna, which definitely is very effective as a stunner there, but being banned away, of course. Plague Rider has to be one of the main reasons why it is not a very popular support. But also, don't get me wrong, he can also go to the Suicide. So many things can happen in this particular lineup from Team Legion there, providing a lot of flexibility. Witchler can go full support also. So that's it. Hellborn's going to nicely tidy up with a Rally. Now that's going to be really exciting and interesting to see because they do have the Pestilence being picked up already. And if Pesty and Rally is going to be in the same lane, it could be pretty different, but because of Rally's presence in this entire game, I do believe Rally would be going to the long lane instead.
Yeah, definitely. He's gonna be in that off lane over there, just trying to pick up, soak up experience, and quickly get that level 6 so they can start roaming around. And it's a good pick coming up from Hellburn team. The draft isn't that great, but it is definitely better for them because now they have that synergy between the Pestilence and that Rally. But it's gonna come down ultimately towards them picking up their portal keys and then setting up for that huge just synergy over there with the Pestilence Impale on top of the Rally Seismic Slam, plus the fact that Pestilence does have that swarm ability, so you can definitely see someone getting bursted out really quickly.
Yep, and that's it. Gonna use this opportunity right now before the game begins to introduce both players as well as teams on both sides. So for Team Legion tonight, we have Thailand KaiD, and that's KID for you guys. I do believe that this guy is aMQ. That's interesting to cast, man. aMQ is gonna be a Witch Slayer, and Ben 6 is gonna be the guy with 6 packs, the Kraken, of course. We got Belly Style, and that's gonna be your carry, Sandwraith. Bubbles going out in full style as well. It's going to be named BPS08. That's interesting. We also have Peter994, and that will be pretty interesting. He will be your Plague Rider there. A lot of Peter.
Yeah.
So that's a help on. We have Team Anti-Moon Queen all the way from Malaysia, and Zergra's going to be the captain as well as the drafter there. He will be your Myrmidon, the best feeder, also known as CY. He's going to be the Rally. Hyorari, or whatever it is going to be calling him Roy this game. He will be the Scout, yes. Sock, also known as Sock KK. Previously, he will be your MOA. Last but not least, we got One Juice, and this guy is Wang or Salvanas, and boy, these guys just don't like to be known.
Yeah, and you can see right off the bat, Scout's gonna place a ward here, actually. I don't think this is the best placement for a Scout ward, but he's just utilizing it since he has it at level 1. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to spot out that ward of sight that is blocking his camp, so I think that will be dewarded. Not dewarded, sorry, that will stay on the map for the entire duration. And that will definitely block out the pull camp, if I'm not mistaken. And if Master of Arms doesn't, if he gets a idea that, oh yeah, okay, it's blocked, he should probably get Scout to just go over there and place a ward instead of using that Revelation, because you can always use that for something else later. But the Scout Electric Eye here at the middle lane, I didn't catch how he was able to actually put it there, but I think it should be able to spot out a decent vision there at the top room.
Yep, there's a lot of exchange happening here between Myrmidon as well as Witch there, and there goes the Desert Skirt as well. Myrmidon is going to be fine, but that said though, so far the laning are pretty exciting and interesting. It's not going to be a solo suicide, it's going to be with the help of Zergrush there. So going a little bit of dual lane, definitely a lot healthy there. And also the Wit is going to land quickly. Witch Layer starting for himself to be a lot of trouble there. And last hit is going to mean a Bloodlust going out for Zergrush. That's really good at all. And now that being said, Belly Style might be a little bit of a pinch, but no mana on Rally means that he should be fine.
Yeah, that's a good play there coming up from aMQ to just pick up the quick first blood. Some overextension coming up from Witch Slayer. He only has that graveyard stun, and that is a 12-second cooldown. So he should, sorry, he should actually remember how that's not really the fastest cooldown as compared to Myrmidon's Speed Fill, which is only 10 seconds. So they got the upper hand there. Plus Rally was able to get the compel. This lane is actually pretty. At the start, I would have said it was pretty even because both the Rally and the Sandwraith had gotten the stacked regen, but because of that first blood, it's definitely going to push them that much more further in this game. But middle lane though, just taking a quick look at the stats, Pestilence has actually been doing a really good job despite getting heavily harassed by this Bubbles.
Yeah, and Pestilence in this game so far, he needs farm, and we're gonna examine just that right now. And Pestilence is standing about 11 and 2, whereas Bubbles a little bit questionable that Impel, but it's gonna get him some farm. And that makes it Bubbles is standing at 8 and 2, so Pesty doing a pretty good job so far. Meanwhile, top lane, a little bit of harassment handling over there onto the scout, but Roy is gonna be doing a really good job. And that being said, we should be fine. Definitely, this is the conventional 2-1-2 laning coming from both teams, and it's been a long while since we saw that.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, if you look at the lanes for, yeah, I mean, like, just like you said, like, it really reminds me of like a TMM kind of game, you know, where you have like one player mid, and this actually used to be kind of like the meta way before when like HoN just started out, but they kind of ran like the tri-lanes. In this sense, we are actually not gonna see a tri-lane. I definitely give the favor more towards the Hellburn side at the top lane here. But because Master of Arms is still unable to spot, like, he should know by now that there is that ward. Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry, he actually placed that ward of revelation was one and was not able to. Oh, hold the top bottom lane.
Yeah, bottom lane rally there. Gonna actually do a little harassment onto Witchler, but he's gonna be fine. Don't worry too much about that. He does have the ball, and that's gonna help him regen quite a fair bit of mana as well as health points. But that being said, though, Witchler is just so dangerous as in a very tight spot right now. The cop is gonna hit quickly, and that's gonna be the Whitfield also there, so that means the kill on Witchler is gonna be materialized here, and at the same time Serif's going in for the kill on Rally. Rally needs to fall back right now, but it doesn't have the compel to work with, so that's gonna be pretty tricky to deal with. The magic cup again is not gonna be really effective. Ball charge is gonna be called here, but Rally is gonna feed, and that's the best feeder for you guys there. That being said, maybe a double tap here. Myrmidon gonna be a little bit of a tight spot. He should have ran away earlier, but the Desert Curse is gonna catch up with that, and the swim is not gonna be successful. It's going down. Meanwhile, top lane, Roy will be able to pick up Peter 994, and by the way, that would be a Plague Rider.
Yeah, that's a lot of exchanges going across the map. Really big misplay coming out of bottom lane, giving that 2 kills over to Sandwraith, who didn't have like the best farm at the start. Just boosted him up. He's actually 400 gold per minute right now. That's really huge for Legion lineup, because they need the Sandwraith to, you know, be much more effective in the earlier stages of this game, seeing as how Hellburn's lineup is that much more aggressive. And now that he's already level 6 and he's gonna be able to pick up his face boots, Ghost Marches actually, he just picks it up over there at the side shop. That means now he can actually go ahead and roam top if there's gonna be a gank setting up, or maybe even the middle lane and set up a kill onto Pestilence. I think top would be the better idea, because he can always pick up a quick kill onto the Massive Arm, so I think we'll definitely rotate back to this top lane again.
Yeah, he should, but he should be waiting for mana regeneration to kick in really quickly as well. He doesn't have much mana there, so he will not be looking at Mirage. Mirage does require quite a certain amount of mana, 150 by the way. That's about half of his current mana pool. So he needs to regen that amount, and also if he wants to play catching, he needs definitely the Desert's Curse as well. So it's gonna take him some time, and we may not be expecting a quick level 6 pot away for the gang here so far. He may actually be able to wait until level 8 thereabouts before he regen his mana enough. That being said, the bottom lane is still, the aggression is gonna be kept up here. We have Myrmidon as well as Rally. They did die once each, but it should be fine so far. The only problem is having to deal with the level 6 center that now doesn't even need a Witch Slayer to be around. That's the problem. Previously, he needs a Witch Slayer to make sure that there is a certain amount of support there, but because of the overextension and the subsequent unfortunate death there, but hold that up, because middle lane Bubbles is going to be a little bit of trouble there, and he goes down quickly. The stun from Graveyard will not save him. A little bit sad to see that. Meanwhile, top lane also ban 6 pick up kill on Sock KK there, and that will be the MOA going down.
Yeah, huge overextension actually. By this, who was it? The Bubbles over there just staying in that lane. But of course, he didn't know that there was a scout nearby. That's just a good rotation coming out from scout to actually pick up that kill, as I feel there's currently some lag on my PC. But that gave space for the top lane to actually get back some of the farm that they've lost out, seeing as to how they gave up a lot of kills. Kraken is now sitting at level 5. He's eventually going to reach that level 6, and he has the life tube already, so he's going to be able to pick up on a Helm of the Black Legion soon and be very tanky. And probably the next item following that would be that very prized portal key.
Yeah, but it's going to be really important on the hero there. But that being said, though, down south here, we might be able to look at an extra gang coming in. Here goes the Magic Carp. Is it going to be a Gyarados? No, it's not. So down goes the extra gang potential. But here comes Bubbles to try and make a little bit of a Reaper situation. And Whitfield is going to connect, but here comes Sandwraith with the Mirage. Things are going to be shipping out quickly, but he doesn't have the Desert's Curse this summer to work with, so he will not be able to go in quickly for the kill onto the rally there. That's a little bit sad to see, and he will actually have to back off. It's sad to see that CY actually will not be able to perform in a suicide role today. And that actually is going to cost his team quite a fair bit of lane ganks, as in a little bit of a goal advantage to his entire team.
Yeah, and because he didn't do as well in the mid, that just allowed the Bubbles to rotate around as soon as he got level 6. I mean, even then...
And top lane, Witchler goes in, Graveyard stun, this would be a dead scout, no minute there, the Tsunami Charge going in quickly, and Vanish is not going to be quick enough. That being said, Scout being taken care of, and that would be the carry for Team Hellborn.
Yeah, that was again, like this game is just back and forth, back and forth. One team picks up a kill, and then the other team the next. But right now, Legion team is doing the better job because they're able to pick off the necessary ganks they want to. They are killing off the scout. They are killing off the Myrmidon. That's actually helping this rally. Like, he's not really helping rally in this kind of sense now because he's just actually giving up kills towards the Sandrift, who is getting so much more beefier. He just actually went back to base over there. He's at level 7 right now, and I think he's
mid lane, double damage. Bestie going in for the kill, and it seems like the Bubbles is going out. You know, it's my bad completely. I thought that CY is always going to be the Bubbles whenever it's going to be his game. But that's it. Yeah, double damage. Pesty still going to be here, and top lane Roya Ree is going to be able to pick up the kill on Ben 6, and it seems like Pesty might actually want to pick up the kill again on the Witch Slayer with the Tick Fly in full effect. He might be able to turn something around, but the Graveyard Stun is going to be there also. Level 4 Witch Slayer doesn't have silver bullets, so there's no kill on the Pesty, but Pesty will also be forced to retreat there.
Yeah, that's just really clutch coming out from that Witch Slayer to actually walk at the same path of this Sandrift. If not, Sandrift would have been the one to actually fall, or if not him, the Witch Slayer, because that was, you saw right there, like Pestilence was running down the ramp and then he saw that Witch Slayer and kind of was a little bit late in terms of like pulling out the Impale Stun, and because of that he wasn't able to get some harass in and probably maybe even kill off the Witch Slayer. But even then there was still that Sandrift nearby and he didn't have any support, so it's hard to tell, but of course, yeah, at least he does survive, so that's the main thing. He does have his Steam Boost finish and probably will be looking towards that Portal Key as he's sitting at almost 1k gold now.
Yep, and that's it. 8 minutes, 40 seconds operating into this game. Kraken doing a pretty fair job so far. A 1-1 and 1, 260 plus GPM. And he should be able to look quickly into his Portal Key if he completes. I mean, so far his items are pretty much split down the middle. He should be able to finish his Steam Boots first. Or maybe going for a little bit of the Ghost Marches should also be fine for him. But definitely the Steam Boots will help him a lot. Which one do you think he should go for?
I think Witch Slayer definitely needs...
No, Kraken.
Oh, Kraken? Oh, Kraken. Kraken is definitely Steam Boots. Like, he definitely needs that Steam Boots so that he's going to be able to be that much more tankier and has the ability to, you know, just have that ability to have that extra mana with that tread swap ability. That would be very, very huge. As for Witch Slayer should probably go for Striders, not Steam Boots. Steam Boots if he's in a good position in this game right now, but they are actually kind of down in terms of gold.
Gonna have to cut you off here because mid lane, here comes the best feeder. CY will spot out his favorite hero, that's the Bubbles. It's like staring into his own mirror image there, but that being said, yeah, the entire Hellborn team right now should be able to go in for extra push into the mid lane here, but don't really know what they're waiting for. All 4 members wasting a little bit of time here. They are actually going to back away. And Kraken going to opt for the Helm of the Black Legion first. Completely agree with that one because that's going to help him tank so much more damage. Do note that his health right now is about 1.2k already. And Bubbles is going to nicely meet up with his scouts. It's going to be a double damage rune. Roy Ari is going to pick it up quickly. And Roy, it's going to be able to play the chase down the Bubbles there. He is able to go into Invis very soon. But a Kelfield is being called out here. Whitfield will not meet though. It seems like Scout's going to have to back off there. Because there is a Kraken in the vicinity. But here comes the Pesty, and they are just saying hi as friendly neighbors normally do, but will not going for the extra kill, and just waiting to stab each other in the back right now.
Yeah, this guy should be a very bad team fight for Legion because they're actually going to get boxed in, but nope, they see that right away and back off. That's really good by them. And at the same time, Witch Slayer is actually trying to pick up on some farm in the middle lane, actually missing a CS there. He needs to do a little bit better job of that. He does have what do you call this, a Dust of Revelation with him right now, so that would be useful for when they want to gank up this scout, but he definitely still needs that level 6 because that Silver Bullet can be very, very clutch in certain situations.
Yep, and that's it. Gonna check in on Sandrift again. 288 GPM. It seems like he has unfortunately slowed down a fair bit there so far coming to this game. Previously it was about 400 plus, but now a little bit not so good. About 39 creep kills and 10 creep denies only. That being said, Kraken leading a charge for Team Legion at about 50 creep kill, but the GPM is just about the same with a 2-kill Sandrift. So, I mean, so far both of them are doing a pretty good job. Bubbles also having sizable amount of farm, but not really performing just yet. He does definitely need a lot more items before he can come into that extra engagement. But that being said, top lane, a little bit extra stuff happening here. Comes Sandrift. He's going to go in for the kill on Sock. Sock's going to be able to trouble. There is no overcharge shot, so he is going down quickly. Myrmidon going to be able to trouble right now. It seems like he is going to be able to run away and swim away, whatever you call it there. He is going to be fine. Oh, what is Scout doing though? That's going to reveal himself quickly, and a Kraken out there. You should be able to kill Raya. Read that. A lot of a misplay. Should not have landed auto attack there. It's questionable again.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he decided to do that. I'm not. Maybe it could be accidental misclick, but at this kind of level play, you kind of don't expect it to happen. So that's just really huge misplay there, giving up another kill yet again. And he's a carry for the team, and he's like only sitting at about 200 gold per minute. It's really far behind. That's not something you want to have happen towards your team like this, especially in this kind of situation. As you can see again, the gold and XP advantage is now actually in favor of Legion team. So it's just swinging back and forth. Like both teams like taking favorable trades from time to time, but it will eventually come down to a point where this scout will be able to outrun. Not outrun, just like out CS and outfight this Sand Wraith with that disarm ability, and of course this Pestilence as well.
Yep, that's right. And that being said, though, I'm gonna check in on Bubbles again. Bubbles having pretty good farm so far, but still no items yet. He should be looking at Paul Key first before anything else right now. And I do believe that he might also want to complete his boots first, because the little red boots actually will not be more than enough for him. That being said, the top lane Scout only a level 7 comparing his level with the counter carry from Team Legion. That's gonna be level 9 there, but hold that thought again, because here comes the engagement. And top lane, the silence going out quickly. Whitfield is gonna connect. The stun from MOA is gonna be enough, but there was Plague Rider doing a lot of work there with the Plague Contagion. It's gonna pick up the kill on Sock. It seems like Scout's gonna out the Kraken. Kraken give a lot of trouble, but the Hammer of the Black Legion doing a lot of work here. Here comes Bubbles. It should be enough. The Calfield going now quickly. Mummy down, gonna be a lot of trouble. Mummy down takes the fall. Scout wants the kill on Kraken so badly, and he gets the kill. That's nice to see. And Pasty is gonna be able to play catch up a little bit. He comes in. Name BPS gonna be a little bit of trouble there. And Witchlair trying to pick up the kill on the Scout. Maybe enough, but there is no silver bullet. I repeat, no ulti on this guy here. The shell stuff will do the work though, and it seems like Belly Style the carry is gonna come in as well. Pasty still doing the work here. The ace up by Slip is missing completely. Bubbles gets taken care of by Rally in the background. Rally comes in. He does still have Compel, I believe, in the next 7 seconds. So gonna wait for that. Graveyard Stun's gonna hit on 2 of them, not 3, but Pasty is not able to take flight here because that's on cooldown. And it seems like Sand Wraith is gonna be fine, and that's it. It's gonna end up into a, I would say, a 3-2 exchange.
Well, okay, let's take a quick look. Let's see. Yeah, I think, yeah, around there. That was just, I don't know, that was a very messy team fight in my opinion. Like, everything was like just all over the place. It was clutch there that Witchlair came in at the last portion of that team fight. He did actually get off some good graveyard stuns and miniaturize and was able to save the rest of his teammates and even himself. So that was actually really good for them. But huge misplay, I gotta say, coming from the Scout and MOA and Myrmidon at the top lane when they were trying to put on the aggression. Scout should have just continued auto-attacking the Kraken so that he could disarm him and not land in that final auto-attack into Myrmidon. So that was like the biggest mistake over there coming from this Scout.
Yep, and that's it. Sand Wraith, meanwhile, is able to pot back down south to go continue his farm. He should be looking at about 300 plus GPM already, and definitely a lot of items already in the bank there. He does complete the Helm of the Black Legion. Don't really agree with them, but it definitely helped him survive a lot more, and I can't really complain because that item actually helped him in the previous team fight. That's it. Mid lane is going to be a little bit of trouble there. Bubbles is going to be able to run away because of which little help there. The Silver Bullet finally going to be in place here, and it seems like Myrmidon is going to turn into this big fisherman. But it's, I don't know, it's pretty questionable. He does pick going for the kill on Bubbles, so that's going to be a healthy trade. 2-1, at least they do get something. Meanwhile, down south, Sand Wraith goes down. Wow, a gank from aMQ. Just making sure the map, a lot of engagements happening all across the map right now.
That portal key on Pestilence made big plays, and middle lane, wow, that silver bullet, man, right to the face of Scout, and that is only because Scout was not able to get any farm at all. He's only sitting on a bloody Ghost Marcher's Iron Shield and Soul Scream Ring, so it doesn't have the highest of HPs, and you just saw right there the power of that silver bullet on top of the help of the Bubbles, and they're actually gonna get the tier 1 at the bot, and Scout's gonna pick up the kill, by the way, to Witchlair. So that's another good exchange for him.
And that's gonna be the case there. Meanwhile, it seems like Scout is still able to pick up a little bit of farm, and that aside though, top lane Kraken doing a pretty good job, but again, they are having a little bit of trouble trying to push down this tier 1 at the top lane. It is still standing about 100 plus health points, so it should be pretty okay right now. And here comes the Pasty Potty looking for the kill on Plague Rider. Plague Rider doesn't have any ulti just yet. It seems like, well, he does have the ulti correction there, and it's gonna go off also. That being said, the Kraken ultimate is gonna be happening as well. Bubbles going for the kill on CY. CY trying to run away, but there is no retreat there. The Whitfield is gonna miss. Magic Cup gonna be cast out here, and the Gyarados is gonna be seen. But Bubbles is gonna go down as well. That being said though, the Sand Wraith coming to try and pick up the kill on Rally. Rally going down at the same time, but a lot of things happening here. Kraken gonna take the fall, Sand Wraith gonna be hiding those trees there, and a really big giant weird fish is chasing that witch. But that being said, it seems like Sand Wraith is gonna pay the price, though a little bit questionable as to why he showed himself again.
Yeah, he could have actually just you know, skedaddled away at the other direction. You still have like what, 4 heroes at that vicinity, so that was a misplay, but Again, this is the reason why Myrmidon's not picked up. It came into effect. It came into play right there. You saw that even though he threw out the Wheatfields and the Magikarps, it's not as reliable because people know how to counter the Magikarp. You just quickly press the hold button, and as soon as the carp is about to hit you, Wheatfields are fairly easy to avoid. So it's not really helping out their team right now, and the aggression that they want to put out. If it was something else instead, like something like a Pyromancer, even a Torturer, that would have been that much more better for this Legion line. This Hellborn lineup.
Yeah, and that's it. 14 is to 15. Things definitely looking to be a little bit split down the middle so far, with about 4k goal lead for Team Hellborn. Hellborn doing a really good job, but again, they need to do a lot more ganks here and make sure that the scout gets good farm because he's very far behind in terms of items, and only with the sustainer, not enough to sustain himself. Unfortunately, he needs a Rune Cleaver for extra fun potential, plus maybe even going for Shrunken to make sure he survives the next few team fights.
Yeah, he definitely needs Shrunken Head. But the thing is, like, he's still opting to go for Rune Cleaver, and like in my opinion, that's actually not the best choice here in this kind of situation because they're so far behind. Like, just straight up buy that Shrunken Head. You won't have the highest of farming capabilities, but if you have the ability to team fight with the rest of your teammates, you can actually make things happen and actually farm the gold from from there on out. Because you take team fights that are favorable towards you, you win, you get towers, and that's how you get back that gold advantage.
He might be able to pot in here, and he goes in for the kill on the Plague Rider. Plague Rider gets ulti from a scout straight away, and Plague Rider this time round, it does not have the ulti. It's gonna be on cooldown for 10 seconds there. However, Kraken's gonna be able to sidestep away the Wheatfield, and the stun from Pasty is gonna connect quickly. Kraken now is gonna pop the ulti just to save himself, but is it gonna be? Now it is not. And Bubbles comes in looking for the kill on the Pasty. Calfield is gonna land as well. Wheatfield also can connect, but the take cover is gonna be effect there, so that's gonna be fine. And it seems like the tower is gonna be challenged by Team Hellborn. There is no form of contest so far because they have 2 members in Hell from the Legion side.
Yeah, in Hell indeed, and Legion team's just gonna get this tier 1 easily with no contest at all because the rest of the teammates, like nice mentioned, are in Hell right now. That's the Kraken and the Plague Rider. Those are 2 huge ultimates, by the way, and Kraken did use his ultimate over there, so that's really good by Hellborn team to actually bait that out. They did still pick up the kill, and as you see right there, that's the power of what Scout's able to do. Like, he has level 2 Marksman Shot ultimate already, able to do a lot of damage, by the way, and that was onto the Plague Rider who just died instantly. Well, not really instantly, but almost instantly because of the marksmanship, and he was able to get the disarm off as well on top of a swarm. So that was just really well played by Hellborn team, and that's the kind of traits that he needs. Scout can actually go for Rune Cleaver now because he did actually pick up on a couple of kills and the tower as well. So that boosts up his gold. He should be able to finish his Rune Cleaver after like probably this camp and the next one after that.
Yep, and that's it. It seems like the Team Legion is going to be able to get out for a fight in the mid lane right now, except for Sandrift, but he does have the Mirage to generate with the rest of his team very soon. That's it. Compel from Rally is going to make sure that he is going to be fine, and Team Legion will be able to look for a push at the mid lane. Do know that mid lane tower is still very much at full health here, and that's it. It needs to be addressed, man. They have already taken care of the top lane. Both tier 1s are already down. However, the mid lane still standing, and bottom lane only the Legion 1 is down. So, I mean, so far the advantage will slant towards the Hellborn team. With about 6k gold lead, they are in pretty good spot so far.
Yeah, it's like finally we actually see the gold graph and EXP graph actually slanting sorry, in favor of one of these teams, and Scout did pick up his Shrunken Head, not Shrunken Head, sorry, the Rune Cleaver already. Just gonna do a lot of damage. In fact, you see Sandrift, well.
Yep, Sandrift is gonna take the first-hand experience at a Rune Cleaver. Or maybe not there.
It wasn't.
Yeah, now there we go. It's gonna be a lot different there. So it's complete experiment on the Sandrift. Before and after 370 crit coming out. And even the ulti is gonna be used here. Scout might be able to pick up the kill. Or the last minute pot. Yeah, it seems like it is not gonna be enough there.
That was actually
Clutch
really well
away.
played by Sandrift. That was huge. Like, Scout wasted the ulti and Sandrift survived because he actually ported to the Mirage just in the nick of time. So that's really big because he doesn't die. Yes, this Mirage is on cooldown, but that just means that Legion team doesn't need to take a team fight. They can just dodge. They can lose this tier 1 mid. That's still fine for them because they are in a good position. Unless they want to defend this, which they also can, by all means, since they have the Kraken and Plague Rider. But here we go.
Yeah, but Compel landing quickly on Kraken. Kraken's gonna be spotted out here by the Swarm, and Kraken is just gonna deal a lot of damage. But the tower is gonna get denied, and here comes Hellborn looking for the kill on Kraken. Kraken goes down at the same time there. Name BPS going down as well. But the play continues, just doing the ping pong thing, dancing all about Team Hellborn. No one goes down. A little bit sad to see that one. And Player Rider must be a little bit sad that there is no score there from his ultimate. But that being said, the 14-19 and Hellborn team might be able to win game 1 very quickly here.
Yeah, that was actually a very nice ultimate. Just that the follow-up wasn't there because Kraken died already. So that's like again, like I always mentioned, these are the two huge ultimates you need to have, like the Plague Carrier as well as the Release the Kraken. That's like huge ultimates that can do a lot of damage. You saw right there, there were three heroes that were like clumped together. If a Kraken Release the Kraken ultimate had hit, they were definitely dead because of the Plague Carrier follow-up, and there was no creeps nearby the vicinity, so it wasn't gonna get bounced off to them.
Yep, and that's 22 minutes up here, 14-19. About 10k goal lead for Team Hellborn. So far looking very good for them. Do note that the amount of GPM, or rather the entire GPM chat, is spelling out doom for Team Legion, in fact. About 411 on the Pestilence. He is after the top farm for Team Hellborn, so he should be looking at pretty good items very soon. He already has got the Shrunken Head as well as the Portal Key. And on the Scout 374, he also is looking at, I do believe it's gonna be, yeah, it's not gonna be Other Parasite because of the item change there, so it should be a Whispering Hell.
I don't really agree with a Whispering Helm onto Scout because...
Oh, that's a flying chicken. Then am I rally now is gonna face off with about 3-man aggression here. And here comes the Sandrave though. Does he want to pot in? That's the question. Sandrave is gonna come in and miss everything because that's after a hasted chicken. That's rally for you.
Yeah, Hayes doing a lot of work, man. Pestilence is really beefy. He has a Shrunken Head and a Portal Key, so that's huge for him. Scout is gonna pick up something here? No? Yes? Okay, maybe not. I'm not sure why he decided to go back. The Astrolabe hasn't been finished on Plague Rider, so that's another huge thing. A huge piece of the puzzle that they're missing out. And Pestilence might actually pick up the kill on which they're right here.
Oh, yep, the Griffith stun is gonna miss, but no, Pesty's got his eyes set on the big prize. That's gonna be Sandrave. Sandrave know what's going on because of the Ward of Wrath there. It will actually nicely brush past the Pesty, so it does have limited vision, but it's still pretty effective. It's placed at a pretty crucial spot of the map. So that being said, the team Hellborn will not be able to pick up the kill on the Sandrave, but so far in, they are looking to be in a pretty good control spot right now, and a lot of aggression coming from them in the early stages of this game. But the Scout needs items, and that's gonna be it for them. I do believe the aMQ will give Scout some space to farm up his basic item, as in basic aggressive item, before they go into the next kill there. So that being said, Rally is still invisible, and they're doing a lot of work trying to make sure that Sandrave is gonna be slowed down here, but Rally is gonna be spot out, but it doesn't matter because he goes in for the compel stun on the Kraken. Kraken severely challenged by Team Hellborn again, but a big Plague ultimate again happening there. And Pasty going in for the extra stun protection onto the Plague Rider, but Plague Rider not able to do much against the Shrunken Head of Pasty. Pasty is going to be fine, so is the Rally. They're all going to try and push down the mid lane. Mid lane is going to be challenged here, but there is no defense. They are just hiding and cowering at tier 3 and will not step in for a defense here. But so far, I mean, they are not really serious about this push, and that should be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, they definitely can push this now because Kraken's up, but I mean, he will be back up in 20 seconds, so they can't really do anything now. Although Plague Carrier is down, so that's a huge thing. The only ultimate used there was the Seismic Slam. That was really clutch coming up from Hellborn team because they picked up the kill onto that Kraken, forcing him back that much more again. He's not gonna be able to pick up his Soul's Blower, by the way, anytime soon. I'm not sure if he has the other component in his inventory just yet. I wasn't able to see that, but I think he will still be very far off from picking that item anytime soon. I do believe Scout might even go for a what is it called, the Abyssal Skull, and then into something else. I hope it's not gonna be that Dawnbringer, which we actually see quite a lot. I actually feel that Shieldbreaker would just be so much more prime in this kind of situation because it has a lot more synergy with Pestilence and will definitely cut through the armor of most of the heroes coming from this Legion lineup.
Yeah, that is correct, and I'm said 14 is to 20 already, and Hellborn team is, like what we mentioned before, is going to give Scout the space to farm. Yep, he decided to go for the Abyssal Skull instead of Whispering Helm. That, of course, is also a viable item. And that being said, 1.2k gold all to the Scout. Scout doing a pretty good job so far, and Hellborn team, you don't see Sandrave farming. That's going to be pretty worrisome for them. He's only sitting about 60 gold in the bank with virtually nothing in him. I do believe the Curry is going to send something, and that's going to solve the high. Wow, so that's pretty decent also. Would be pretty good, but it's a little bit too slow. 26 minutes in without the Mark of Brilliance.
Yeah, and I feel like usually Mark of Brilliance you don't really need to get it like this late in the game, but the thing is, a huge part of the the Hellborn success is because of those portal keys, and he just wants to have the ability to kind of cancel it out. But the thing is, he can't really cancel it at the same time because he is usually just sitting at the back. You can't have the Sandrave sitting up in the front you'd like to have the Kraken over there, or maybe even, yeah, mostly just the Kraken, soak up most of the damage and have the support, like the rest of the support coming from the rest of the team. So it's not like the best item because you can't really cancel out the portal key initiation coming from the Hellburn team unless you prematurely use the Mirage ulti to actually stop them. But then again, Mirage itself already cancels out their portal key, so there's a lot of things to take into
And
consideration.
things are going to change right now because Scout's going to need a charge of Peste. He's going to jump in first with a quick impale plus the shrunken bubbles. Might be a little bit of a trouble there. The Scout's going to try and pot the ulti and it's not even going to be needed. Down goes the bubbles pretty quickly. Whitfield's going to connect. Kraken ulti completely missing everyone there. Rally going for reverse compel. That's going to be super effective, taking care of both Kraken as well as the Witch Lair. That's interesting to see. Meanwhile, Plague doesn't have anything left and he is also going down. That's going to be legendary for Roya Ree. And that being said, I mean, Hellborn doesn't have the space for this game. Sorry, Legion doesn't have the space for this game. The Sandrave definitely doesn't have the space to farm up for his Mark of Brilliance. He is still ultimately about 600 gold back to completing the next item. He should be able to get it before the game ends, but the problem is I don't think that the item alone is going to be enough.
Okay, Myrmidon has the Astrolabe and a Bound Eye, so he's doing really good as a support on his team. The Tablet of Command was just completed on Rally. There is almost 3k gold saved up on Scout. Oh,
Yep.
speaking of
Meanwhile,
Scout,
mid lane, the potting from Peste looking to kill Sandrave. Sandrave definitely going down here. It seems like the outing from Scout also going to be used. They also scored a tower there, so that's going to be interesting to see. And finally going to be able to try and address the Peste here. The stun is coming out. Silver Bullet should be able to going down quickly as well. The silence going quickly, and it seems like Peste knows that he's dead and will just stand there to die.
yeah, and what a way to have a mid-fight pause, but of course he was already dead. I'm not sure who's the one that DC'd over there, or just, okay, it's just Laga, but yeah, they kind of overextended in my opinion over at the middle lane. They could have actually just taken Kong in the midst of the all that happening. Scout probably will pick up on that shield breaker next, but he's actually hoarding up the gold, so probably gonna maybe even just save for buybacks before anything else since they don't have the token yet. There is the ability for this Legion lineup to actually push down the tier 1 mid and then probably even do some chip damage towards tier 2. But having that buyback just means you can easily port back the mid and set up for a huge team fight, which can actually turn around to a genocide and just push down the mid ranks there coming from this Legion team. So there's a lot of ifs over there, but I think Scout should probably just purchase that shield breaker right off the bat because he needs that extra added damage in the next couple of team fights. Like after his shield breaker, you can even go for a brutalizer for the ability to lock down the heroes coming from this Legion team.
Yep, and that's it. That's interesting to see as well. Scout definitely, like I mentioned, is gonna be looking for an next item pickup, and they should have that. And by the time that's gonna be completed, I would expect Seraph to also be able to complete Mark of Brilliance, and that would be a nice little showdown there. But of course, we all know that Hellborn by far is about 18k in front of Team Legion, and they are looking very good in this game, like we mentioned before. That being said, I mean Legion team, the entire lineup there, only Bubbles having the Tablet Command being completely utility based. They don't have much of a utility item left. Kraken is very much obsessed with being tanky and all. Definitely investing a lot into those beefcake sort of items, but he doesn't really have what it takes to survive the next few team fights as well. Because as you can see previously, there's always problems in Kraken Kraken surviving long enough for him to be really effective. He always just puts forth the Kraken ulti and then down he goes. So it's pretty questionable as to how much Kraken can really tank up from this Hellborn team.
Yeah, like they don't have Barry Idol, which actually does help out a lot because of the Scout ultimate. It is magical damage, but it's not necessary just yet. Kraken really needs a shrunken head on top of the Soul's Bulwark really quickly and put it on defensive purposes because he's getting crushed simply because of the swarm and the auto attacks coming out from the rest of the team. They're doing a lot of work, and Bubbles right now he went for more of the U route because he went for the Tablet of Command first instead of the portal key. So that's another reason as to why they don't have the initiation. If they had the initiation, then maybe they could set up for better kills and better team fights for this Legion team. Which Layer still hasn't reached that Steam Boot stage yet, but once he does, he's probably just gonna look towards trying to finish up a portal key whenever he can. But that's gonna be pretty far ways off since Plague Rider doesn't even have to actually finish for the longest time ever.
Yep, and the D-Ward is going to be able to spot out the ward of sight by Soft there, so I do believe that Wish Lair actually knows that there was actually a ward because of the placement. He was actually in the vicinity when it was going down. That being said, the Royal Ree is making sure that the Legion jungle is going to be his new home, and he will be the new Tasman there, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, it seems like Hellborn is going to be able to... I mean, Hellborn should have the means to end this game so far, but they are just dragging it out, and it could be wise or unwise. I don't know. What's your take on that?
I think that they should end the game much more earlier because Sanrif is at the stage where he's actually going for a Maka Brilliance, so they have that ability to just win the game since he doesn't have much defensive capabilities, like things like a Shrunken Head or Jimber's Bane. They can easily take a team fight. Maybe just go for Kong first and then just set up for a kill at the mid and then go for Rex.
Yep, they can also do that, but that being said, they need a space maybe by picking off someone from the team, from the Legion side. They definitely can be able to go in for the kill on Kongor as well as secure the token of life. With that, we'll be able to put a little bit of extra pressure on the Legion's base as well as to knock off the entire tower there. The series should be able to complete itself without much of a trouble, but it seems like they are not able to start the ball rolling, sorry, to be able to pick up the kill on Team Legion side because they're playing very safe so far. And Bubbles, I mean, they did the same trick so many times over and over again. Team Hellborn tried to catch a Kraken in mid lane. It's always a mid lane. So much that, you know, Witchlayer decided to invest Ward of Wrath here to try and de-ward as much as possible, and that is going to help them a lot. That said, Pesty is going to be able to spy down Sanrif, and Sanrif might be a little bit of a tight spot so far. Pesty looking for extra gang potential, looking to go in. I do believe that this is not a real one, actually. Is it a real one? No.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be okay. They all look the same, man. My god.
They get Kong, by the way, so that's a huge opportunity for them now to even push that much more in further. And Scout actually finishes his Shrunken Head, so that's the good item pickup by him. Can definitely go for that Shield Breaker and even the Brutalizer after this next couple of pickups. But currently, he won't be dying to this Legion team because he has a Shrunken Head ability. He will get decently locked down because of the Kraken release the Kraken Ultimate. But that's just gonna depend mostly on how Kraken is able to place his release to Kraken.
Yeah, that's it. Team Hellborn now gonna try a different lane to push here. Going down south, definitely trying to address this tier 2. Tier 2 is gonna be in a little bit of a trouble here, but there is no port coming in still. And yep, they are gonna be able to pot him. The Legion on the flip side is trying to push the top lane that doesn't have a tier 1 anyway. They will not be able to hit the tier 2 as quickly as Hellborn is hitting the bottom lane tier 2. So there we go. Bottom lane tier 2 already being destroyed, and Royal Reader will get a tower. They are also looking at a tier 3. And this could be the push that they all need. They also have got a token left on the scout. So this is gonna be, ladies and gentlemen, game 1 now might be ending quickly. Pesty goes in for the stun, looking for the kill on Plague Rider goes down. The stun on Pesty happens quickly. Silver Bullet being called here, but the Raid Master's called. And the Shrunken is doing a lot of work, making sure that a lot of them are still alive. Royal Reed goes down, but he has the token on life, so he's gonna come back up really nicely. But that being said, it seems like Sanrif is completely boxed in here, and he goes down, completely taken care of. And Bubbles now going to be challenged by Royal Reed, but Team Hellborn, they are ready to win this game quickly. It seems like Myrmidon doesn't have much health left, and he is going to be able to just take a little bit of a passive approach. Pesty should also be really careful because there's still a Kraken alive, and it seems like Rally is jumping in first hand, and I'm not really sure what he's doing there, but the Demoralizing Roar did its work. And it seems like Kraken will also get taken care of there. Scout doing a lot of work so far, already having a portal key. It's not a Savage Maze, it's not the Shield Breaker, it's a goddamn portal key. This Scout can freaking fly. That being said, it seems like bottom lane is going to be nicely addressed, but the fort is going to come in. And Hellborn, all of them very low health already. The Astral Lake coming to effect here. Tier 3 definitely is going to be challenged. It is going down also, it already went down. Bubbles going with the shell stuff. He does go in with the Song of the Sea, but doesn't get anything done really except to just harass a little bit out of Team Hellborn. But look at all the balls on One's juice, man. He just goes in for a stun despite the amount of health he has in on a zero. That's just interesting to see. And that being said, Amelie Brack is going to be challenged so far. It will also be taken care of. Shell stuff going in as well. Myrmidon gonna be a little bit trouble there, but Murmy is gonna be fine. The Merman is gonna run back home, and that's it. I do believe the Scout will realize the rest of his teammate has already completely expended every single health point that they should be able to expend there, so they are gonna back up. But Scout, I have no idea what Ryder is thinking right now, but it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, he wants to set up for a kill Bubbles and then just quickly pour it away with the Portal Key. And Portal Key is one of those much more unconventional item pickups. I think it is, of course, still okay. As you see right there, it did have a lot of utility, and he actually might be able to pick up Kraken here.
No, it's
as the
going
rest
for
of his teammates are nearby.
That's a free food.
Maybe.
There is no stun already. Going for the kill. Silence. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one last hit there. Yep, the pot's gonna secure the last hit. Oh my god, doesn't even need to run to that.
The power and effectiveness of Portal Kraken actually is gonna get spotted up by War Side. Here we go.
Yeah, Pesty not full health, a little bit tricky here, but he does have a shrunken head, that's gonna be fine. And that outie from the plague is not useful at all. That's it, Scout lands a 400 crit hit on the plague there. And Kraken trying to make sure that Pesty goes down, but it's gonna be a little bit of a tight fight there, and Pesty is gonna get taken care of by the plague right there. But it doesn't matter because Rari is gonna blow up. That's gonna be a double tap going already. It could be it for them. The magic carp just swimming all the way to Bubbles, and there goes the long shot. It's not gonna hit, unfortunately, with the last minute to cover there. So that being said, Team Hellborn doing a lot of work, but Scout just jumping in for the... He just wants to kill so badly. He wants a hat trick, but doesn't get it. Yep, there we go. Doesn't get it, and the game is done.
I'm actually surprised. How the hell did Bubbles survive that? I thought he used his take cover already from the... what is this, the marksman shot, but still, yeah, they were really well played by coming from aMQ. It looked like they were actually gonna lose that game at a certain point in the time, like midway throughout the game, but in the end they did turn it around and worked it out in their favor.
Yep, that's very nice to see, and that's it. That will be game number 1. We'll be back with game 2 really soon, so we hope you guys will be able to join us for that. This is Babael, with me is Lark. See you guys in a short while. Goodbye.